your patience, and hope you're having a wonderful day. Today on Debbz Den, I'm here for an hour, and we are in the beautiful downtown Lethbridge. And I have a wonderful guest with me today, Anna, the blogger from Mazatlan. And she has some interesting, fun tips to help us get through the winter blues. I know that this time of year, fall is coming up. Just around the weekend, we have the equinox. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on what is going on with the emotional stuff. Like Debbz Den is always about finding out what solutions for problems. So I know this time of year, a lot of people get sad, the seasonal disorder. So in that case, we are kind of going to look at some fun ways to get over it, like traveling to Mazatlan and doing some fun things. And if you're a snowbird, this show is for you too, because Anna has some fantastic tips on how to save money, how different places that you can go to, that you can do some really fun things. And that is where we're at. I'm just checking here to make sure on Jess FM that we are going live right now, and I'm looking for that. And are we live on Jess FM? I'm thinking that. There we see it. Going down a few. Not seeing it. Jess FM is just tuning in, and we're just holding on for that 56 seconds delay.
It can seem a long time.
It does. It can seem like a long time with 56 seconds. So we're going to just try that once more and make sure that we're going up on Jess FM. There we are. Now I see us. We do have somebody watching, and here we are. We are live on Jess FM. Okay, I'm going to have to turn down the volume so we're not going on. Oops. So now I can see who's watching, and if anybody's there, I have you on my Jess FM. If you've got the chance here, we're going to, we've been having a few technical difficulties over the last week, but we're working through it. So, starting over. Hi. Hello, hello. This is Deb from Debbz Den. Welcome to Jess FM. We are here live in the beautiful city of Lethbridge, Alberta, coming to you on this beautiful day right before the spring equinox. We are talking about helping people get through the fall blues, the blues where you get all tired, and just a whole bunch of things that happen in the fall time with a lot of people go through, especially the bipolar people, and not to mention that having all this smoke through the summer has also turned people a little bit sad too, because they didn't get all that beautiful sunshine that we are used to here in southern Alberta. We're used to not being clouded over for the whole month of, well, not clouded, but smoked over for pretty much the whole month of August with all of the terrible fires that happened in British Columbia. So today I'm going to focus on how to get through that sad energy and what we can do to fix things. So anybody can point out what's wrong with things all around the city, and what's wrong with people, and what's wrong. But on Debbz Den, we look for solutions here. So I think this is going to be one of my favorite shows on solutions, because I know I love to travel. So I'd like to introduce my friend and blogger from Mazatlan, Sinaloa, is it? Or? Sinaloa, in Mazatlan, Mexico, and I've been there. It's beautiful. And this is Anna. Anna, can you introduce yourself, and please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Anna Fernandez, but despite that moniker, I'm not Mexican. I'm originally from Venezuela, and my family came to Canada in 1965. And I have a British mother, so we're a multinational family. And there's 4 of us in the family. We were born in 3 different countries, so that makes us the United Nations, I always say.
That sounds fun. Well, it sounds distant, actually. What caused you to be all over the place like that?
Well,
how do you have one family of 4 kids and everybody's born someplace?
Yeah, interesting story. My father was in the Navy, the Venezuelan Navy, and he was in England at the time. I think he was involved with the engineering of one of the naval vessels there, and met my mother. So that's how they got together. And so 2 of us were born there. And then
in Venezuela?
In England.
In England.
That's where they got married. And then they went to Venezuela, spent a few years there. But we did what we call in our family the Fernandez Triangle. And that is Venezuela, England, Canada, Venezuela, England, and, a combination of that until I was about 9 or 10, and we made a permanent move to Canada.
Oh, in what part of Canada did you live in?
I grew up in Toronto, yes.
Toronto.
Yeah. T.O., Hogtown, it's called.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. They've got some issues going on there with things, but, politics is politics. I know that. They got all kinds of changes going down there with Rockford and those kinds of fun things.
Oh, right.
I follow up on that. I'm like, go Toronto, go.
I'm too much in Mexico to follow the politics.
And that's what's lovely about Mexico is I've been there a few times, and they always like, just a Mexican minute. And it's like, we're a little bit late today, but we're on Mexican minute time.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's the way it goes.
They also have another saying.
Chill out.
That mañana does not necessarily mean tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
When the worker is coming back mañana does not mean he'll return tomorrow.
Kind of when he gets here, he'll be here.
That's
I promise you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that attitude. I know when we would travel to Mexico, and in the moment we got off the plane, and somebody would be like, "Oh, I gotta get somewhere, gotta go somewhere, gotta be somewhere," and they would be like, "Calm down.
Yeah.
You're in Mexico. If you're late, we'll be there in a Mexican minute. Don't worry."
That's right. And we have a saying in our community, our Snowbird community, that as soon as you get off that plane in Mexico, you head to the beach, you take your watch, and you throw it in the ocean.
I like my new watch, by the way.
So wear a cheap watch.
Yeah. You know what I found also is that sometimes the humidity level is so high there that my watches don't work.
Oh.
So
that's interesting.
I know. I hit like Colorado, and the watch shuts off, and then go through my whole vacation. Clock won't work. Put new batteries in it, still won't work. And then I come back and flying over Colorado. I was like, oh, my watch is working.
Yeah, it's got to be the humidity.
Vacation's over.
Yeah.
I think my watch just means throw me out the door.
Yeah.
So that is like. So you're kind of a world traveler then, within your triangle then.
Yeah.
And, how old were you when you really started to get that?
I
if
think
you were
I've
with your
had
family.
The travel bug hit me practically when I was born, and I never lost that. I have a name in my family. My family all call me the Gypsy.
I always liked Gypsy.
And I even have a little thing that says Gypsy.
Oh, she does. Isn't that cute?
Yeah. So I love moving, traveling, seeing things. It's just been me. I have no problem getting up and going somewhere new at all. So
yeah, sometimes that's a financial thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about also on how to find the deals, because on your blog site, I believe it is, that you have certain little secret ways that you can go to sites and guarantee yourself that lowest rate.
Yeah.
And I was watching that on her blog page earlier, and I thought that was really, really great.
I should mention my blog page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your address on that? What's it called? Who is Anna the blogger?
Anna the blogger. I have to tell people when I have my name on my blog or business cards and everything, they see Anna Fernandez, they automatically think I'm Mexican because I live down there, but obviously I'm not. So I always put I'm Canadian, and they always know that. So my blog
the
site
gives it away.
Yeah, my blog site is www.thesolosnowbird.com, and you'll find plenty of hints there, handy blogs that of interest, mostly to the snowbirds and the expats.
I know my sister is a snowbird. She goes down maybe every second, third year, and they go down for just about 6 months. They like to be, like 2 weeks early because they don't want to get caught if something happens. So they don't want to be caught being over the 6 months. But my sister, I love that she gets to go down. She's had such a life, and she gets to go down and just go camping. They bring their fifth wheel.
Nice.
And but if you were going down to Mexico, would you suggest driving down?
It's up to you. Many people drive down.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends where you're going, where you're going to stay when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Certain cities, for example, Mazatlan's a good example. We had a lot of RV spots in
Yeah, that's what I
Mazatlan
was
for
wondering.
years, but so many have closed up because our demographics that we're driving down in the RVs and stuff we're dying off, of course. And so you're not driving down as much. There's not that many driving down anymore. They're flying down and they're renting apartments and that sort of thing. So in our particular town, anyway, there's several RV sites that closed up, but they're still there. There's some there.
What
But
would be
there's
the
still
average
quite a few.
cost, you say, like if I wanted to go for a week? You know,
I wouldn't
know?
know that. No, you
like
have to
for
search
us,
that
it's
out.
fairly
yeah.
expensive, but
But I would always suggest to people if it's going to be their first time going there to go for an all-inclusive. So
I
that
like the
includes your
all-inclusive.
airfare, your food, so the food isn't going to be weird or
No, it's
you know,
delicious. I love
yeah. And because sometimes it's a
Beautifully
bit of a
displayed.
shock, you know, the hot sauces and all that sort of thing. But with an all-inclusive, they have lots of milder food, so you don't have to worry
yeah,
about that.
that's what I thought.
And it's a very good deal too. It's a good way to discover the area.
I couldn't imagine, like, how much food they, like, and every piece of fruit, every time it comes out, it's cut differently. So, they're not just serving you the same food, that they always have the most beautiful displays, and the people are so friendly.
Really friendly. Yeah.
Mazatlan is, I think, the first big city, basically, once you get into Mexico, coming from the United States, isn't it? Or?
I guess if you're driving the coast, the Pacific coast, it would
The
be.
Pacific
Yeah.
Coast, yeah.
Yeah, it is. We're north of Puerto Vallarta.
Quite a bit north.
Yeah,
I
quite a
think.
bit north.
Yeah.
And as well as over from Mexico City and Guadalajara would be south central to us, and yeah, so we are.
So that's kind of basically just straight across from the Baja, isn't it? The California Baja, right straight across. I took a ship or a boat one time across there when I went deep sea fishing, and it was beautiful. It's not the same as the Caribbean side.
No. The Caribbean side has much greener ocean, and it's very beautiful too. Very, but different. Yes.
White sand.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So I still found that it was really interesting in Mazatlan, just the diversity of the place. Like, you've got great big buildings, little buildings, some buildings you don't know if they're going up or down, but, but in general, I found the people were absolutely sweet.
Yeah. Very, very welcoming. Nice community. It's a working town, so it's not yes, of course, there's tourists. There's a tourism business there, but it is a working town. It has I think it's the world's largest shrimp exporting business.
That's what I was reading today.
And those of you that like beer, it's the only place that they make Pacifico beer.
Cerveza.
They ship it out from there.
Por
Yeah.
favor. Cerveza. Yeah, so, I know when we were there, they had the big brewery, and they said, if you don't trust the water, drink the beer.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful drinking the water, but the beer is good. It's some of the best in the world.
It sure is.
So that's kind of fun. When what is what do people do in Mazatlan though? Like, if you say in Canada, like I've talked to my cousin or my niece, and when they say, when you ask somebody, what do you do? They tell you what they do for fun, not what they do for work.
For work?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're a full-time citizen there, it all depends. Like I say, that town is. Are you talking about the Mexicans, or are you talking about retirees, or what exactly? Because some people retire there and they live on their pensions, and that sort of thing.
I think there is a really high percentage. I think it was
Huge.
somewhere around 22,000 Canadians live in Mazatlan that are retired. I just looked that stat up today, and it's off the top of my head, so you can fact check me. I might be off by a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it was 22,000 Canadians have moved to Mazatlan.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know if that seems like a high number, but could include the Americans maybe, or is that just Canadians?
Nope, that was Canadians.
Okay.
But there are the Mazatlan itself in the area. They were saying the population is about 300,000.
No, it's 600,000.
Is it
Yeah,
600,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe this was just an area that they were talking about. Is
Must
there-
be, yeah. No, it's been 600,000 or close
could
to
it-
it
yeah.
for many years now, yeah.
600,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing I found that was fun in Mazatlan was I just paid a taxi driver $20 and said, "Show us all the sites."
Oh,
And he
right.
took us
Yeah.
around for $20, took us around and showed us all the main sites and took us up on the hill and
Yeah.
the Diablo and
You can get so many good tours from the local taxi drivers, and we have a unique taxi down there that no one else in Mexico is allowed to have, and they're called pulmonías. And loosely translated in Spanish, that means pneumonia makers, because they're based on like a golf cart looking thing.
It does look
but
like a golf cart.
it's a Volkswagen engine actually, so it's open air.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's great in the summer, and but when it gets chilly,
it gets chilly.
It.
Oh,
It
plus
does get chilly.
Plus 15. I've seen that.
11, no,
Oh,
11.
Oh,
It
no,
has been down
11.
11.
I think
And
it's
it's
colder
hilarious.
than that today here.
The drivers with their, toques on and their gloves and all that, because these open air ones are chilly to them.
Yeah, in Canada's where Canadians go down and we're still in our swimsuits
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
they're in their tubes. We're all climatized.
But that rarely happens that low.
Yeah.
But it has. It has in the years I've been there.
So do you find there's more people that come in the fall?
Yeah, most of the people, the snowbirds come down. Oh, it depends. October, November is when if they're the ones that are going to stay the whole winter.
Mhm.
That's when they come down. Now, some Americans, for example, will come down October and then go back for their Thanksgiving, which is late November, and not come back till after the New Year. So there's that. But if you're going there for 6 months, you usually come down on October, November is our busiest months.
So
there.
that they can completely avoid
The winter,
dark,
yeah.
gloomy winters here in
Yeah.
Alberta,
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah, I've avoided them for 7 years now. So
Oh,
lucky.
lucky you. About halfway through winter, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm 4 months is enough of winter. But sometimes it seems like, I know we're already Calgary's already had snow.
Yeah.
It's September. We're just hitting fall. We shouldn't be having snow here in
No,
summertime.
no.
Like really,
It was
it's still
September, yeah.
summer. But I guess that's what makes us Canadians very diverse. We can take it. We can handle it.
Yeah. We're
It
hardy.
it makes me proud that I can go out when it's 5 below or 5 above, and I think, not too bad. It's okay. So, we have the fall equinox coming this weekend, and so we're just looking into. I know that when there is the fall equinox, a lot of people get that depression. They get tired. They get either that or they're restless. They can't sleep. It's like one or the other. They get back and forth with. Some people even get suicidal in the fall when they start to realize like everything's dying. I don't know if that's because they're empathing. All the trees are dying, the leaves are
Yeah.
falling off, the flowers are dying, and that just that's kind of feels sad. So
The darkness.
the darkness is coming,
Yeah.
and us Canadians, we're used to that good 6 months of darkness. Not like up in Alaska where they
yeah.
get extreme amounts, but I know the suicide rates. So if you're one of those people who are feeling that energy that is bringing you down, the headaches, the moodiness, the tiredness, rather than thinking, oh my gosh, I must be sick.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned earlier we were talking about getting one of those lights.
Yes, that helped me because
Mhm.
I used to get that seasonal affective disorder called SAD
Yeah.
quite a bit. More when I lived in Squamish. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. That's near Whistler.
BC.
Yeah, and the
BC.
mountains.
Yeah.
The mountains, so you never saw the sun at
yeah.
all during the winter. It was all rainy and gloomy. It was very depressing. So I would have this light and sit next to it, and it was much, much better. So it helps. At the very least, people should do that because that really does help. Vitamin D.
I agree because I know myself. I need the sun.
Yeah.
I
Nothing
need
like
the
the
sun.
real thing, though.
Yeah, no. I prefer the real thing, and I prefer that good burst of it in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
I would prefer to go that way. It's not always affordable. So let's talk about that since I brought it up. And again, we are here live on Jess FM or Jess TV. Today we are Jess TV on our Facebook page. So if you want to catch us live, you can go over to Jess FM or Jess, Jess TV, and look us up on Facebook and like our page, and you'll find this show going on live right now. And from here, we're going to have to share it to our pages, so you'll be able to catch it on later. And then eventually, I hope we get it to go to YouTube. We're just having some technical difficulties with what was going on last week, and we're still trying to get it together. But we are still live today, and we are making it. And thanks for tuning in and being patient with us. I appreciate that. And the views are always of Debbz Den and not Jess FM, and I always like to make sure I get that in. And if there's anything that you find that you don't think that what I said is correct, please fact check and find your information out for yourself. But right now, I kind of want to talk about the deals. How do we get a deal on travel?
Well, I don't know all the deals, but I just know what works for me. And what's worked for me for a few years now is using a combination of a couple of sites and searching out flights on one site and booking it through another site. And through that other site, and then there's more details about this on my blog. On the other site, you then check, after you've purchased your flight, you then check your flight every day or have an alert sent to you. And if that price of that flight goes down, you can lock in that savings for your next flight. So saved a few $100s over the years, and it's great. You know, it just takes a little bit of effort because you check your flight every day. But yeah, it's good. But I explain more in detail. I have a video on that on my blog if you want.
Yeah, I watched that video today, so I'm informed on this topic here. But so you don't, when you buy a ticket, you just buy one way?
Just one way, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never know what date I'm going to come back, and
so then you
I just always buy the one way.
Well, I know with most times when most people are traveling, they know they're going for a week and they know they're going to come back. Is it cheaper to just go? Well, if you're only going to go for a week, it's best to get that all-inclusive deal.
I would say definitely.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
There are some fantastic,
very good deals.
Fantastic deals. I know that I've gone down to I think it was actually Puerto Vallarta. And it was under $1,000.
Yeah, it's very popular.
That would include our flights, our taxes, our bus ride from the airport to the hotel, all of our food and drinks.
Yeah.
And there was different restaurants. We could go to Italian, or we could go eat at the beautiful pyramids where they had the most amazing. All of our entertainment. There was entertainment every single night there. The dancing ladies, the guys with the fire, and then we also got to go on a few excursions, which was great to do also.
They're super. Yeah, those deals, you can't beat those deals.
Yeah, I can't believe the deals that are offered there, even if you're willing to give up 90 minutes of time. You know what I mean? When people are trying to sell you timeshare.
Oh, that's a totally different subject. I'm not going to get into that.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm a pro at that one, so I'm like, you've got 90 minutes, and you're running into 5 minutes now, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's different types of places. So if you go on to your again, let's just go over that. What is your blog page? Because I think you've got a lot of information on your blog there.
I try to. I'm not as quick with the blogs as the younger people, but because I also do other things.
You teach me a bunch of things yesterday. I'm so thankful.
Yeah, I always call myself, I've been calling myself a techie nerd for years because I'm originally an accountant. That's by training. But then I got into website building, so I became a techie as well. And I love technology. But my blog site is thesolosnowbird.com.
thesolosnowbird.com, and that is also on the webpage. The whole site is just on Jess FM's webpage too. I've shared it with Debbz Den also, and Deb Nickel, and a few other places.
And it's on Facebook as well. I have Facebook as well there.
And what is it called on Facebook?
The same.
Same thing?
Yeah, there's the Solo Snowbird page, but there's also a group called the Solo Snowbird group. That's not very active. My page is more active, or my website is more active.
Okay.
But I also run 2 groups out of Mazatlan on Facebook pages.
Okay, and what do we do when those 2 pages are? Because that sounds like interesting too.
Yeah, those are very popular, actually.
Yes.
What happened, I think, 2.5, 3 years ago, people kept asking me, do I know a place to rent? People that go there for the winter.
And that's one of the first things I asked.
Yeah, exactly. Do I know a place to rent and this kind of thing? I don't know why I looked like the encyclopedia, but I did. So I thought, why doesn't somebody have a group on Facebook? So I thought, well, I'll start one. I started one, and I have almost 3,000 members now.
Wow.
In the 2 years it's been up. And what it does, it's a place for someone to put down what it is they're looking for is for a rental, how long, what type of situation they need, furnished, unfurnished, do they take pets, etc. And also for landlords to put down what they have available, so they connect that way. So all I'm doing is really connecting these groups of people. And the second Facebook group that I have is even more. It's actually more fun because it's the Solo Snowbird Activity Group, which is proving to be quite popular. That's only been around about a year, and I have 400 members on that almost.
But that's what's fun.
That's the fun one, because we do
That's
activities. I arrange activities for us to do that people would maybe be too nervous to do it, because I speak fairly good Spanish. And so I'll take people, for example, I'll take them on a chicken bus run, which is to a little town outside, to some little town outside of Mazatlan, and we take the regular bus that the Mexicans would take. And I call it a chicken bus because many years ago, people would take their chickens and their goods to market and put them on top of the roof and take them into town to sell. They don't do that anymore, but that's
They
where
don't?
the name.
I bet some of them do.
They
I
don't
bet
do
some
it
of
in
them might.
Mazatlan. Maybe the smaller towns they do.
Yeah. When you're headed off on the back roads and the back parts.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's a fun group. I started it for single snowbirds because there's a lot of us, but then eventually some couples decided, well, you guys are doing so much fun things. Can we join? I said, well, why not? I don't see any problem. Yeah, it's not a dating group at all. It's not a dating site or anything like that. It's just a group to do things. So you're not always alone, because there's a lot of us that are on our own down there.
Yeah, I've met some lovely ladies down there too that they're like, no, I'm just here. My kids are gone someplace else, and I'm just living in a little place up over there in a little apartment.
Yeah, that's neat.
I'm quite happy to just live by the ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's just beautiful how people can, kind of live out their life next to the beach.
It's nice. It's a nice option. It's doable. It's affordable. I tell people that ask me, well, how much does it cost to live there?
That was my next question.
Yes, I always get that question. Very, very common. And I tell people, I'm not going to give you prices on anything, really. What I'm going to say is whatever your lifestyle is here that you're used to, you can take off a third to two-thirds of that for the cost of living down there, for equal amount of, the same amount of cost of living, So if you're used to having a really nice place, for example, you could probably get it down there for a third to two-thirds less than what you pay here.
Wow.
Yeah, and that goes for everything, cell phone, service.
And what's
everything.
our dollar exchange there? Is that a good
Right
reason
now
to?
it's around 15 pesos to $1 Canadian. Yeah, and a beer. Okay, I'll give you an equivalent.
Okay, yeah, that was that didn't compute because I don't know what a
beer would be
peso
about
is.
25 pesos. So you're $1 something for a beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Unless you buy like a whole bucket at the same time, and then it's cheaper. Then you get like
People
a whole
relate
bucket
to
of beer
beer
for
easily.
$5. Yeah, cerveza. Por favor. That's probably the only Spanish I know. Is bring me beer, please.
Yeah.
And I did take some Spanish lessons and stuff like that. They do encourage you to at least know your numbers.
Yes, so
so
you
that
should, make an effort. You're going to another country to learn at least some basic greetings and basic stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to pronounce it perfect. They're used to that, and we're used to their accents. So
Yes.
yeah, it
that's
all
true.
works out.
So what are we at? We started late, so we're just going to go in for a few more questions here. What was it that made you decide to go to Mazatlan? Like, I mean, there's a million places in the world, and if you like to travel,
Why Mazatlan?
why
particularly?
Mazatlan particularly?
Well, many years ago in the 80s, my boyfriend and I went there for a week's holiday, and I just loved it. I had missed my Latino roots growing up in Canada, from Venezuela. So I connected right away, of course, with that, with Mazatlan, and made a promise to myself right then and there. I think it was 1988 I went there, that I would live here one day, or live there one day. And, 2 children and 1 divorce later, I ended up there.
Well, only 1 divorce. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah, yeah. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty average in Alberta.
Yeah. But Mazatlan also it's only 4 hours, really, flight, 4.5, I think, from Calgary.
Yeah.
So it's close. My kids still live in Canada, in Alberta, British Columbia, so I can go home quickly if I need to, or they can come down to see me. So it's just handy. Yeah.
So there are direct flights that you don't even have to go into the States, that you can
Yes.
leave right from Calgary International
right.
Airport and land right in Mazatlan.
Yes, I'm on one this Saturday.
You're on. Oh, so she's only, see, I'm so glad she came in today. Tomorrow she's got to be all packed up and gone.
Yeah.
And she's flying back to where it will be beautiful and warm, and we're looking forward to fall and cold and everything dying.
Yeah.
Isn't it lovely? The good part is it, the trees are pretty when they're changing all colors until you have to pick them up. But fortunately, we have a lot of wind here. So Saskatchewan, they'll be happy to have our good, nutritious leaves hitting them anytime soon. So we also have, we have your blog, and that has your story. How did you get started with the blog idea again? That was just
actually, that's led me to becoming a techie, actually, because I've been in Mazatlan now 7 years, spending winters there for the last 7 years. And when I started doing that, just before I started doing that, I thought I should write a blog about all this journey and whatever.
That looks lovely.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about blogs, so I researched it, because YouTube is my friend to learn stuff on, and started learning how to write a blog, which is actually just a website. And then one thing led to another, and next thing I know how to build a website too. So that's how I got my blog started, was really researching how to do it, and then I ended up learning how to build websites as well.
So do you do building websites online, helping people as a career?
No, I build websites. I just build websites as a contract job. Yeah,
As a contract job?
Yeah. So someone can contract my services, and I'll build them a website. And which is it's online work, and that's another thing too.
You can do that from anywhere.
I can do that from anywhere. Yeah, so I don't have to stay in Mexico necessarily. I can go anywhere and still be working, which is really nice. And even with my previous career as an accountant, everything is in the cloud now. So I do cloud accounting consulting, which also helps too, and I can do that from anywhere.
So So cloud. So you're mostly working with Mac or
I
iPhone
use a Mac,
or
yeah.
iPads.
Yes, yeah. Mac's my preferred.
So I guess I'm going to have to update my iPad or my iCloud. They've been asking me for money. But you know what? To get my iCloud updated, it's only $1.29 a month.
Oh, your storage, yeah.
Yeah, my storage.
Yeah.
So is that how that works? So then I have everything I have. They have all my information.
They just have your whatever information you've given them, and they have your. It's a place to store your photos and that sort of thing. So if anything, if you're not storing it somewhere, you're just storing it on your iPad or computer, and that's stolen. That's the only place you've had it, so it's gone. You're storing it on the cloud is like a backup service,
Yeah. So instead of having your little memory card, you just give it to the cloud. Seems a little surreal to know that they have all of our stuff. So we have to be kind of careful what we put on our stuff, which is pretty good, I think. People should be good anyway. So we went over how to get cheap deals. And if they want to find out how to get cheap deals, go over to Anna's blog site, the Solo Snowbird.
Yes.
Right? The Solo, S-O-L-O, Snowbird. And if you go, just type that into the internet or even on Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you have a YouTube page too?
Yes, I do. I have a YouTube page, and
Okay.
I have. I don't do Twitter very much, but I'm trying to get into that.
I have
and Instagram too.
Okay, me too. I have all of those. They're all DebbzDen.com. If you look me up, I'm Debbz Den. Most platforms. I'm Debbz Den on YouTube. I'm Debbz Den on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It just goes on, and and DebbzDen.com is also my webpage. If you want to get a hold of me, I do clearings and healings and work with mediumship. So, is there something you want to talk about? If there's something that you really want to bring up, I'll leave that to you. I've got a few other questions here, but let's talk about what you want.
I've been looking at my list.
Yeah, I see you got a list there. Let's talk about what's on the list.
The benefits of living in Mazatlan.
Oh, and that's going back
Because
to our healing.
I'm not an expert on all of Mexico.
Mhm.
I'm not an expert on Mazatlan either, but I've been there long enough to pick up some very good tips and to tell you why I love Mazatlan, besides the people and the heat. Well, I love the heat. Some people can't stand the
I
humidity.
like the food.
The food is fantastic. Seafood.
Fruits and vegetables.
Seafood and vegetables, yeah, all that. The culture is wonderful, too. They have some really cool traditions. There seems to be a holiday, like here we have Canada Day and, all these different holidays, and once every 2 months we might have a day off from work, that sort of thing. Down there, probably 1 or 2 a month.
There is one I want to ask
There's
about,
always
too.
some battle we're celebrating or some independence of something we're doing, and one of the most interesting holidays is the Day of the Dead.
That's what I was wanting to touch on that, just because we're getting into this Halloween thing, and skulls are kind of like part of society there, and I'm just wondering, what is the deal with the skulls? All you see them all with their little flowers, they're all different colors.
Yeah.
It's like skulls looking like they're being happy.
Yeah.
Happy skulls.
Well, they celebrate, in the Mexican culture, from what I understand, they celebrate everything. So life and death, it's all part of life. And dying is not something that's...
Final.
Oh, final, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Being
the Day
medium,
of the
that works
Dead
for
is
me.
the day, exactly. The Day of the Dead is when they come out and celebrate the passing of their loved ones. So you'll pass cemeteries, and for about a week before the big day where they all go to the cemetery, there's it's just so lit up with candles and flowers and all. It's just amazing passing just the cemeteries. They also on one particular day, it's on the Day of the Dead, they go down to the cemeteries, a family, and have a picnic there, gathered around the area that their family
So the
has.
big potluck dinner to celebrate the dead people?
To celebrate the spirits of the dead people, yes. Yeah, it's a very positive thing. They also have a parade, and you can dress up as they're called Katrinas, the one with the skulls and the hats and all that sort of thing.
I got a
They're called
picture of me and
Katrinas.
Elvis. Dead Elvis.
Yeah,
Skull Elvis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very popular one I just love, because I loved Halloween when I was in Canada.
Yeah.
And I don't celebrate that now, so I celebrate Day of the Dead instead. Yeah.
That is really actually quite beautiful, actually, because I think that gives you, when somebody has crossed over, and I'm a medium, and when somebody has crossed over and you really miss them, you know that there's going to be one day
Yeah. Exactly.
a year. So this is usually around October, November.
It's November the 1st. Yeah.
So right after our Halloween, where we get all dressed up ugly and celebrate the dead in a gross way, or you can be an angel too.
Yeah.
But it's zombies. We have the zombie walk coming here with Cat Panic, and we do all kinds of crazy stuff. But there, it seems like it's more like celebrating life after death.
Yeah. It's they keep that connection with the dead. In fact, a lot of the families will create an altar of their loved one or loved ones with all their favorite foods in front, or pictures of them and all that in their homes as
Wow.
well during that period of time. Yeah, it's really
And like
lovely.
every year. So it's you never really, for people who've recently lost loved ones and people who, lost I recently have dealt with people who've lost their children to the drug epidemic going on here, to the opioid condition. And, I tell them that the other side isn't bad. They're just learning their lessons. But if you continue to stay sad, and you continue to say garbage, and you consider to or continuously always tell yourself, oh, I should have done this, and oh, I feel so bad, I failed them, oh, I feel bad. That's the energy that you're sending them. You're sending them that. And so you're not only making yourself feel down, you're dragging them down too on the spirit side. So it's really important. I think this is beautiful that you take the time to not say, oh, it's terrible, I miss you so much. And of course you do. You miss them. You will always miss them. That miss will never go away. But if you could take that sadness and turn it into, I remember you used to like watermelon, and your favorite food was coconut shrimp, and on that beautiful day, I'm going to honor you. I'm going to honor you by enjoying my life and having fun and having a big celebration. From what I've seen, they go out into the streets and have a big celebration. And
it's a parade.
There's a big parade.
Oh, a huge parade,
okay. So that might be a fun time to go down. And
it's
does that go through all of Mexico on the first?
People join the parade. Anybody can just join the parade. It starts, I think there's a cart with a donkey or something like this that goes on, and you can get into the parade, and they give free beer out, I don't know why that's in there, but anyways, that's the way it's done. And you just walk down the streets passing all the altars that people have set up maybe outside in their windows and that sort of thing.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's really very cool.
Especially coming from a medium background where, I practice. I'm going into my third year mediumship here with, since we're talking about it, I'm going to just do a little bit of an advertising here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Since we're talking about how to turn that negative energy of the fall and sadness and everything dying, we're getting into the equinox. We've got all kinds of energy coming up with us. Focusing in on, life and living and being like Anna and going out and seeing the need for something. I think this is such an inspiration as to who you are, is that when you go out and you see, people should have a place to go to say where to get cheap places. I know people who have places for rent. They're going to be gone for 2 or 3 months. They want to rent out their apartment so that those pails are still paid, and they are going to be on that page too. They will, if they say
house sitting on there as
house sitting too. Could you imagine getting paid to go sit in a house?
This is not getting paid.
Oh, but you just get to stay there.
You get to stay there, so take care of that. I always have a house sitter when I go. A house sitter stays in my house, and it's good.
I remember back when I was younger, and I was in, I think it was Coon, and they, I was like loud and obnoxious, drinking tequila, a little glass tied around your. And they actually came up to me, and the owner came up to me and offered me to live in the hotel for free, eat, drink, do everything I want for free, as long as I came down and made lots of noise every night. And I thought, wow, I can't believe it. I could just sit here, whistle, woohoo, have fun, and get paid.
Sounds like a good
free
deal.
living. I wasn't going to get paid. You're right there.
Yeah.
But they would let me, he would put me up.
Some places will, or some people. It depends on the arrangement, But,
I was kind. I was just loud. Got people going. Can you imagine that for me? Okay, so I'm just going to mention I have a person coming in. Once again, we are here live on Jess FM. Welcome to Jess FM. I'm Deb from Debbz Den. .com, and we come to you every Thursday from 4 till 5 live, but you can catch us normally on Facebook. You can, all of the videos are saved on Jess TV, like the Facebook page, or I will share it on my private page, Debbz Den, Angel Empowerment Practitioner. And then we kind of share it out through the community too. And of course, if you see the video, please like and share. Maybe there's some information. Maybe you know somebody who likes to travel, and they're going to find some valuable deals here when they look through Anna's blog. But for right now, I'm just going to talk about, we have a couple of workshops coming in. I am affiliated and part sponsored, I would say. I'm sponsored by the Lethbridge Spiritualist Center here in Lethbridge, located at 425 11th Street South. Now that's just down by Top's Pizza, the little restaurant there, and just down there's the big Yates there, and just across there's the Spiritualist Center. And I just wanted to mention that coming up next week, we're just starting. Today is going to be our first day back in Circle. And that, for me, that goes till December, and then we go from January until the end of May or June, depending on the weather. And we meet weekly and develop our skills as mediums and psychics, and really just communicating with the other side. We have, if you have lost somebody and you want to maybe contact them or wonder if they have, sometimes you feel real lost, you can come on Sundays from 7 till 8:30. We do a song, we have an inspirational speaker, and then we have a couple of mediums that come up on stage, and we do audience readings. So they're up on platform, and Spirit will come in, and if you're somebody whose family member is trying to talk to you, they will most likely come in, and we will be able to give you evidence. Yes, no, or maybe is all we ask from the people in the audience. We don't want anybody feeding the psychics. We are trained to connect through the veil, and that's fun and interesting. But what I want to mention, and next month or next week on Thursday, my guest will be Lynn Russell, and she's a local woman from here in Lethbridge. She has a book, and she has been over 60 years of study, 40 years of an armchair scientist, and 20 years of facilitating workshops. She has done over 2,500 near-death experience interviews. So she is one of the top leaders in the world for documenting and studying near-death experience. If you're somebody who's had a near-death experience or know somebody who has, or really just want to learn about what we're here for, Lynn is got an incredible amount of information that's going to happen next Saturday. From what's my time here is from 9:30 in the morning, which is registration, probably start around 10. We usually have coffee and stuff, and it goes to approximately 4 o'clock. That's a $100 fee, and I'm sure that she'll be putting most of that back into the church. This won't be, she's a very generous person. But you can get a hold of her, and that is Lynn Russell, at 403-359-2309 if you want to talk to her directly. If you're interested in taking the class, though, that's offered next Thursday, you can tune in next Thursday for my show, and I'll be asking all kinds of questions about near-death experience, and that's what we're going to be focusing on next week. And that will, so that's 4 till 5 next Thursday, be right back here at jessfm.ca. And the cost for that one is $100, and you bring your lunch, and they all stay together in the little community in the 425 11th Street South. I'll leave a link for that in the Facebook page, and that is a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot more things coming up and offers with that too. And with that, I'm going to have one more thing here that I'm going to advertise, and this is my favorite of the year, the Halloween party for the Lethbridge Handmade Market. And I'm going to be having Jessie in the week after that, Jessie Gust, and we have all kinds of things going there. That one is at the Pavilion. I think that we're moving into a different market this time. We're going to be in a little bigger venue because we do keep growing, and so we will have over $1,000 in prizes. The raffle draw is free to get in. Adults, it's going to be $3 to get in. But other than that, children are free. So that's 9 till 4 at the Lethbridge Handmade Market at the exhibition grounds in the Pavilion area. There's free parking, over 130 artisans. These are people who put their creativity. This is not stuff you're going to find in a store. This is not store-bought stuff. This is creative people building things and making things and bringing them to you. There's soap, there's honey, there's all kinds of things. The fun part this time is that they have workshops for kids. And they're going to be like face painting, and they're doing a treasure hunt for the kids, for the candies. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We put a lot into it. Jessie puts a lot into it. She's got a lot of volunteers. We'll have the local food trucks, the coffee. the kids' craft zone, so it's always fun to bring your kids along.
Maybe I should change my flight. Sounds like fun.
Yes, it is really fun. Electronic DJ music, so that's always fun. Just a real great. If you want to check it out, go onto Facebook and just type in the Lethbridge Handmade Market, and you will see all of these different artisans in there and what they're donating and all the free stuff you could win if you go there that day. Also, Debbz Den will be there. I will be there, and I will be doing private readings all day. Come early because I usually book up by the afternoon. So if you're interested in getting a reading, please come early. We are open at 9 a.m. And yes, by 10 or 11, I'm starting to get regular and busy. So if you want to book in for 9 a.m., give me a call early, and I'll save that spot for you. Or if you want to book a time, let me know ahead of time. And those are just like mini readings. My regular readings take much longer. And I think that's for my updates right now. I know in Vulcan this weekend there is another market going on there, and my friend Maria Stokes is going to be singing, and they're having, I think Joanne Bean Joanna's going to be there also, and she's going to be doing healing and massage therapy. There's just a lot of artisans and things going on in Vulcan. If you're looking for something to do in, the Star Trek town, it's kind of fun there. So if you're in that kind of area in that country, check that out. And that I think I've shared on Facebook also. Is there anything else you would like to talk about that we missed?
No, I think we've pretty well covered it.
Yeah. We kind of just skimmed over a little bit of stuff. As long as we've got that address. Right.
TheSoloSnowbird.com.
TheSoloSnowbird.com. That sounds pretty easy to remember. But if not, you can always go through the video. The video is going to be up on Facebook, and it's not going anywhere from there. And, well, it might move over to Jess TV, and that's live if you just go up into your top board there. And what's that little thing called on the top?
The browser?
The browser. That's the one. See, I need help. She's the pro. The browser. Just put in your browser, your search engine. Just put over there and just put the information of
that you're looking for. Yeah.
Yes, in the browser. So Lethbridge Handmade Market. Check that out. DebbzDen.com. DebbzDen.com. Check that out. It's not Anna. It's just the Solo Snowbird. Put that in there. You're going to find her. Jess FM TV. No, Jess TV. Put that in there, and you will find our station there where you can get the live videos. We have movies playing a lot of the time. Lots of fun things with the radio station and the live Facebook and the YouTube. We're all working on that. So I think we're close to our time. Oh, yes. Very close to time. I'm not sure if this clock is right. What does yours say?
5 after.
Oh, good, because mine says quarter after. So we started a few minutes late. So now we, as you know, on Debbz Den, I like to do a meditation at the end of each show. And I thank you for listening, and I hope we can help you move through the seasonal disorder and know that, getting in the sunlight, going out and get those lights, doing things that make you happy, drinking water, getting rest, going to Mazatlan. So I'm going to do a little meditation right now. So I just want you to clear your mind, clear your energy. If you've been feeling down, don't worry about it. It's kind of normal. So don't worry about it. We're going to just do a little meditation here now to help with that energy. So we're going to just do a little journey, and I just want everybody to just imagine you're sitting there in your spot and open your eyes and just look around and see where you are. I just want you to go a little bit, how I work is we're just going to go a little bit into our imagination. So whatever you're doing, if you could just listen for a moment, and it's only going to take a few minutes to take this little break away from our bodies. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just be comfortable. turn down the music a little bit, just listening into your own intuition, listening in, and we're going to just go inside for a little bit and let the body know that we're going in and we're going to have a little visit with spirit. So what we're going to do is we're going to have your little spirit come out to play. And when you're feeling sad and you're feeling down, this is what I want you to do. I want you to step up and take your spirit and say, "Hi, Deb," or whatever your name is right now out loud. Just say, "Hi, Anna," or "Hi, Deb," or "Hi," fill in the blank. Take a deep breath and maybe mention that again, bringing in, "I am Deb." Once more, "I am Deb and I am a spirit." Now going through, putting your own name in. As we pull our little spirit up, now we're going to pull our little spirit up and we're going to just look into another dimension. And we're going to go on a little vacation. We're going to leave the body all safe and sound and protected by angels. But right now we're going to go on a little journey. I want your little light energy now to just come on up. And I want you to see this big airplane pulling up beside you. And our little spirits and everyone who's listening are all going to go over to that plane. And as we float, as this angel light that we are going to be in form, in our human form, in our beautiful, healthy human form. And a lot of times I like to take a little pet with me. So have your little cage and your little cat or your little pet with you. And we're all going to board this big, beautiful airplane. And as we walk in, we know that we're just going on a little journey together. We're just going to go have some fun. As our body's laying, as our body is sleeping, or as our body is just at ease and at rest. Just listen to everything I say as we go. Okay, we're sitting down now. Sitting down, I want you to imagine that you are in the airplane, looking around, looking through the windows. We're not sure on our destination yet, but we know that we're going somewhere. The head stewardess stands up and looks and everybody is seated and everybody has their seat belts on. Here we go. We're going to take a deep breath and the plane is going to start to take off. I want you to feel your body now, or your spirit now, taking off and going into the beautiful blue sky. And as we go into the blue sky, all of the stress and tension and sadness and worries and grief, we're leaving it all behind because right now we're taking a journey, a vacation away from our issues and our problems and our sadness. And we're moving on through the air, soaring high into the sky. As we go through, the stewardess comes along and she passes out pamphlets to everybody. Little pamphlets telling you that you are happy, you are peaceful, you love yourself. You forgive everyone for everything. And as you're looking at this list, this beautiful list of positive vibration, of positive words, and we just, every time you say, "I love me, I am beautiful, I am free from my worries, everything in my world is beautiful," and just fill that whole entire energy of that plane with beautiful white light. And every person that's in that plane, that's on this journey, we're all on together. Every person listening can be on this journey with us, along with their little friendly guardians. We're just taking off, going through air. And now we're going to come, and we're actually going to go to a beautiful tropical island. And the plane starts coming down. I want you to feel the pressure, knowing that we're going to this beautiful, beautiful place that we can always go to. And as we start to land, you can hear the tires screeching. You can feel the ground coming up as we land, knowing that when we land, we are perfectly safe and in the most perfect place. Now the door is open, and that beautiful, humid, hot air just clings to you, and you have that wonderful feeling of being on a tropical island. People are playing music. And in fact, this looks like Fantasy Island. You have your guardians and your angels there to help and guide you. They're giving you the opportunity to make your dreams come true. So if you did have a fantasy life or a fantasy dream, I want you to be able to experience the thought that you can make your dreams come true. If you have a fantasy life that you want to live, or if you have regrets and you wish you would have done something different, this is the time, this is the place that we can go to do our healing and release our energy. If somebody's passed and you didn't get to say your final goodbyes, at this place here, you can say your final goodbyes. You'll see them again. You'll see them on the other side. This place is a place you can go to at any time. This is a beautiful island where everything is magical. And anybody you're talking to is there for you. And that's a beautiful thing. I want you to be able to go talk to your mom who's passed. She's there. And she's happy and she's having fun playing cards and being with her friends. Or you can maybe see your dad or your loved ones. And oh my, if your children have gone, they're going to be on this beautiful island too. And they're celebrating the Day of the Dead as we go to visit them. And in this celebration, we eat, we drink, we dance, we sing. We really have a beautiful time with our loved ones who have crossed over. And we take that love, we take that happiness and the goodness and the fun, and we take all that in, and we hold that in our spirit. And as we enjoy, and the night turns late, and we know it's time to go because we can hear the plane is starting up again, and it is time to go. We're going to now just leave and go back to our planes and jump on our planes and jump on and have the freedom to keep all of our memories, to keep all of the energy, the fun, the joy, the love, the conversations, the blessings of being with those who have crossed over. And we're going to take all that love back with us. We're going to hop back on our plane now. We're just going to come on back as the plane takes off. We know our loved ones are safe. Our loved ones are happy and well-fed. And they're together with everybody else in the family who's crossed over, their cousins and aunts and uncles and friends and loved ones. They're all celebrating and having a wonderful time, waiting for us to come back again on this beautiful journey. So I'm going to have you ask right now as our plane comes back to wherever you are. And the plane is now landing, and we're coming on back. As the door opens and you come down the stairs with your pet, the moment you step foot on the ground, you're back in your body. You're back in right now. And you're back revived, relived, revisited, and feeling a release of the stress of the things that we've lost. Because we've now gained so much and know that things are never really lost. Material things are not what life is about. It's about smiling and having friendships and having relationships that matter in our lives. It's about helping. It's about volunteering. It's not who gets the most money at the end of the day. It was who's the kindest person that you know at the end of the day. Once again, thank you for listening to Jess FM. We are here live in the city of Lethbridge. I am Deb from Debbz Den, and this is my guest,
Anna from the Solo Snowbird.
Thank you for coming all the way to Mazatlan, and thanks for coming. And we just kind of took a little trip down to Mazatlan in my mind, and went and visited there for the Day of the Dead. And I just want you to feel peace and love and wake up. We're back, and please like and share our page. Tell your friends about Jess FM. And if you have any advertising you'd like done, let us know. If you would like to sponsor my show or any of the other shows on Jess FM, please do so. If you would like to possibly have your own show on Jess FM, get a hold of one of us, the administration. Go to jessfm.ca on the internet and look us up and look under contacts, and you might be having your own show one day if that's what you want to do. And we're open to that. Would be great. And once again, thanks for coming in to Jess FM. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Adios. Excuse me. I'm just going to have to say, see ya. Love you all. Thanks for watching.